Welcome to The Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, the Midwest's hottest vacation destination. I'm your host, Jill Bauer, and I'm the PR manager at Shores and Islands, Ohio. Joining me once again is my co-host, Dayton Barnett, social media manager. Dayton and I are here every week to give you the inside scoop on everything happening here on our island and coastal communities and the events and attractions that we think you'll want to know more about. Hi, Dayton.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful out.
We just wrapped up the 2024 Shores and Islands, Ohio annual meeting, and we're sitting here at the beautiful Kalahari Resort. And Dayton has been running around the room like a chicken with a head cut off, trying to get content, doing videos, pictures, rubbing elbows with people. What are your feelings on today's event, Dayton?
It's a lot of fun. I love being around this event because I get to meet and re-meet a lot of, our partners and such. And this is also a chance for them to connect with me personally, because a lot of people don't know how to reach me or anything like that. So they'll stop me. So I walk around the room purposely for people to stop me because I know they will. So it's a chance for them to kind of connect with me.
Everyone recognizes Dayton.
That is, I guess, true. My face is on camera.
Very good. So, of course, if you're not already, be sure to follow along and engage with Dayton in the social sphere. You can find all of the links to our social accounts at shoresandislands.com. And today we're going to tell you a little bit more about the Shores and Islands Ohio organization, as we're just coming off our annual meeting. And we finally get to introduce you all to our fearless leader. I know you've heard his name several times. People have mentioned him in previous podcasts. I know Dayton brings him up every once in a while. And again, correct me if any of this is wrong. A proud graduate of the Bowling Green State University, Larry Fletcher has been in the travel and tourism world for more than 26 years, with a little more than 18 at Shores and Islands, Ohio. Before that, he was the executive director of the Greater Licking County CVB and the marketing and communications director at the Wilds. I'm also told that he did some radio DJing back in his college days, maybe? Is that accurate?
Yes.
You've got a voice for radio?
Yes, Mom said I had a face for radio.
A face for radio. And just know that, folks, that he might fill in for Dayton and I on the podcast at any time. He's experienced. And he's known as Two Sticks on X, formerly known as Twitter, which tells us that Larry also beats a mean drum. I hear that you've played in a couple bands?
I have. It's been a while, but yeah, that was what I wanted to do for a living, was be on the radio and be a rock and roll drummer. And I'm not on the radio anymore except for today. And I've played in a couple bands over the years. And,
so let me ask you this, just before we get into the crux of the podcast. How did that translate into travel and tourism space? How do you go from wanting to, your dream of being on the radio playing rock and roll to working in travel and tourism?
Yeah, well, I think it's different today. Someone like Dayton had the opportunity to go to a university that had a degree in tourism. When I went to college, there was no such degree, so I specialized in courses that dealt with radio, TV, film, communications, public relations, advertising. So I found my way to tourism through different advertising positions I had in sales, in promotion, and then that led to an opportunity to work for the Wilds, as you mentioned, in Southeast Ohio, and that led to the Muskingum County Convention and Visitors Bureau. That was kind of my entree into Ohio's tourism industry, and then through that led to me finding out about the position in Licking County, and then the position here.
Okay, so I missed Muskingum.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. You did. So I'm correcting you that you missed Muskingum.
You need to correct your LinkedIn profile.
Yes, will do. Yeah, well, you don't want to go back that far. I mean, there's a lot of decades here. But no, tourism is an outstanding industry, and all the things I picked up along the way in different types of jobs helped prepare me for what I'm doing today.
One, talent's up because it just didn't have the program yet. I also went to BG, and then two, I'm working on music. If you wanna kind of get back into the groove of things, I might need a drummer.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, absolutely. We need a Shores and Islands band. We're getting the band back together.
So we've just within the past few hours wrapped our 2024 Shores and Islands, Ohio annual meeting here at the beautiful Kalahari Resorts and Conventions. Tell us a little bit about what we've just shared with our local tourism community partners. What are some of the highlights for you of today's meeting?
Well, first of all, the people that we had in the room here, people that represent tourism industry businesses from across the region. We had a number of our local, state, and federal elected officials here or representatives for them. People that represent, all facets of the tourism industry here in this place, where we did get to honor, in some ways, the general manager of this facility, Brian Shanley, who is also the board chair for one of our boards that helps govern our organization. Brian's going to be leaving to move to another Kalahari later this year, so it was great to be able to honor him today here on his home turf. So we kind of started the meeting out that way, and then it was all about sharing what our staff team members like Dayton, like Jill, and all the others that were here today, and what all our tourism industry businesses from around the region do to continue growing our tourism industry. Our theme for the event was Grow With Us, so we shared information on how our organization grew over 2023 and will continue to this year, and some things about what happened in this region to grow the region as the outstanding tourism destination that it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so hard to honestly show the growth that and the work that we really, put into it and behind the scenes of what really kind of came out of it, because it's so much, but it's awesome to be able to share, a little snippet of it to the community so that they see not just our work, but their efforts as well that we have collectively worked together on to come to where we are today. What are some 2023 achievements you're most proud of for this organization?
Well, since you're asking the question, I will say that a lot of it has to do with our social media, that the following on our social media platforms continue to grow in 23 despite a number of threats to the social media world. Things like when Twitter switched over to X, and that created a lot of shakeup in the social media world. There are still conversations going on in present time about a potential forced sale of the TikTok organization. So that's been in the news. And then there are people that have had privacy concerns about social media. So a lot of people have just decided that they're not going to follow it anymore and have kind of turned it off from their own mobile devices and such. But we've been able to grow despite that. And I think it has a lot to do with the content that you put out, Dayton, and the fine work of all of our partners and things that you have to talk about in your posts.
And honestly, we just we focus on the positive areas that we still do have. We see those areas and we just put more effort into those areas, and I think that's what really helped us continue to grow, because there's still audience out there. We just put more effort into the areas where they still are. Precisely.
And I was also able to share information today on what all departments in our organization were able to do to grow in 2023. Jill, with her PR efforts and some of the outstanding things that we were able to do last year, a media marketplace was one of the events that we did for the first time in 2023. That's when we had more than 30 of our local tourism industry partners in a room, and we invited media representatives and social media influencers and travel writers to come in to visit them. We had more than 40 attend that event. Great way to showcase the region. We'll do that again on May 23rd of this year. There were a number of things we did to enhance the experience in our welcome centers, and we talked about that today. And we talked a lot about our website and our marketing efforts and how we market to drive people to our website where they can find out about all the things to see and do in the region. And all of those numbers grew in 2023 as well.
Yeah, we definitely had some impressive numbers on our web stats. And a couple of weeks ago, we had the total solar eclipse, and we shared some stats from website visits to some of the pages that we created specifically for that event. And it was kind of blown us away, right? I mean, the amount of people that visited the website during that. Is there anything else from the meeting today of the things that you shared that you want to make sure that we get in, that we talk about?
Yes, and also we did talk a little bit today about what we do to attract groups to the region. this group today is an example of one of the events that Kalahari is so well suited to host. And we had about 200 people in a room here today to enjoy the program. We have a group accounts team that works year-round to draw people to this region to our unique meeting venues like we have here at Kalahari. I'll also mention that this podcast itself is one of the major accomplishments that we shared information about today, because this podcast didn't exist last year. It kicked off at the beginning of this year, so we were thrilled to be able to share the podcast news with all those in attendance today.
Well, we thank you for that. We like it ourselves. One of the special guests that we had at our meeting today was Sarah Wickham, the State Tourism Director from the Ohio Department of Development, and she shared some of the state's travel and tourism initiatives. Just kind of what are your thoughts on where Ohio is going from a tourism perspective, and some of the things that she shared, and some of their marketing initiatives that included a lot about our area.
Yes, so the state with their new branding, relatively new brandings, the heart of it all. I almost said so much to discover, because they have switched a few times here in just a relatively short amount of time, but we were the heart of it all. We're the heart of it all again in Ohio. So it was good to have our new state, I think still new, state tourism director, who started not too long ago, talk about what Ohio does to promote the experiences and the memories that people can make all around the state. And as she showed in her presentation, she showed a TV commercial that is running in different parts of the state and other states to draw people here. And a lot of the images in that were things that were taken here in our region. People enjoying Cedar Point, people enjoying being out by the lighthouse in Marblehead and along the lakefront. So that's one of the things that resonated with me, is seeing how the state takes advantage of this great destination that we have here to promote that out, to bring more people to Ohio and then hopefully to our area as well.
So with so much collaboration efforts going on right now, from a destination perspective, what are you most looking forward to as we continue through 2024?
I think, and this is a question that I would answer the same way probably any year it is asked to me, is that we have the opportunity to promote and enjoy things in this region that people come from all over the Midwest and other parts of the country and other parts of the world to enjoy. And every year there are more of those things that we can share information about. Today in my presentation, I had 22 different destinations within this area that I mentioned that are things that came online for people to enjoy either last year or will be coming online this year or in early 2025. And so these are things like Top Thrill 2, the roller coaster at Cedar Point. So it's a destination that's been there a long time, but they're adding something new to bring a new audience in. Or brand new businesses, brand new hotels, brand new restaurants, brand new experiences. And so that is one of the things that I like the most about this event, is being able to share all this news about things that people, new experiences people are going to be able to have. And then we can enjoy those things too, because I'm going to be on that roller coaster for sure.
I think that opens in just a couple of weeks. You're going to be one of the first riders?
Well, I will do my best to get there early, and I've already put my name in for one of the advance events that they have, where people can get an opportunity to ride before everyone else if I am so chosen. But I would love to. But either way, I'm gonna ride Top Thrill 2 this year.
Regardless,
are you going to be next to me, Jill?
Heck no.
How about you, Dayton?
I will do it. I would do it as long as we get it on camera.
I was just going to say,
all right, he'll
do it for the gram. So we also did some recognition and awards at this event, and one of those awards was the
Outstanding Destination Partner.
So can you tell us a little bit about that award and how it was awarded today?
This is another favorite part of this event for me, is to be able to award these businesses and individuals that have gone above and beyond to create outstanding experiences. So we have our Outstanding Destination Partner Award, which goes to a business that has either a new business or an existing one that has added things onto their business to be even more appealing to guests. And we are able to award that today. And then we have a Shore Award, which is recognizing an individual who has gone above and beyond to provide outstanding customer service. And we are able to award 3 of those today, 2 honorable mentions and 1 Shore Award winner to people who have shown that they are willing to do whatever it takes to make that guest's experience outstanding.
And those awards, they feel really special from our standpoint because there are other people working in the travel and tourism industry. There's all levels from the front line all the way up to the executives that, that have a role to play in travel and tourism. But the most important thing is making sure that the customer is satisfied. And a lot of the award recipients today were all from hotels.
Yes, we actually had 2 from Kalahari and 1 from a property in Port Clinton.
Yeah, just making the guest experience, it's really all about the people, the people that work in this industry. I feel like we should not let you go without asking you about a huge upcoming event that we're all really excited about, which is the IRONMAN.
My granddaughter's birthday.
Oh, your granddaughter's birthday. No, we're talking about the IRONMAN 70.3 race, which is happening in downtown Sandusky, and you have participated both the past 2 years, correct?
I have.
And this year you're participating as part of a Shores and Islands relay team?
Yes. A couple years ago, I made a commitment to do the event. I told the people from the IRONMAN organization when we were in a meeting with the City of Sandusky officials to try to bring the event to the region. I said, you bring this event to Sandusky and the Shores and Islands, and I'll be one of the first people to sign up. And then they signed the deal. So I honored my commitment. I did the event in 2022, but I did not actually finish as an official finisher because of some rules they have on you need to do a certain thing in a certain amount of time. So it was a technicality, but I still was listed as did not finish. So I did it again last year, and I successfully completed it and was listed as an official finisher. So that box is checked.
Bucket list.
I don't have any desire to train that much to do all 3 events in the triathlon, but I didn't want to not take part. So I am with 2 other people on our staff team, our marketing and sales director, Ben Simon, and our administrative executive assistant, Quinn Wolf. And the 3 of us are going to team up as the Shores and Islands Idols on July 21st and bring this course to its knees. Or me, whichever comes first.
We will definitely be cheering you on.
And just, this is a testament to the City of Sandusky and everyone in the region that helps bring this thing to fruition, because it was picked as one of the top 70.3 Ironman events in the country by Triathlete magazine after just 2 years of running, which is an amazing statistic. And so it's going to be in this area for the next 4 years at least, and maybe 2 years beyond that, just because of the quality of this event. So
yeah, it's one of the only Ironman races where the starting line is a ferry boat. Swimmers dive off of one of the Kelly's Island ferries, which is
jump, dive.
No, okay.
No diving.
No diving head first into Lake Erie. But they do. They swim from the Jackson Street Pier over to the Paper District Marina, and they're literally jumping off of the back of a boat. So
yeah, it makes for a very unique start, and the whole experience is made better by the support of people all along, the course, and certainly the Ironman team, and their professional production of this event. So, but my granddaughter is having a birthday soon, and she wouldn't care anything about any of that. She just wants to know what kind of cake she's getting. It's probably Elsa, I'm guessing.
Well, I know where you can get some cookies.
Really?
And maybe even cake.
He's not making any commitments over there.
Yeah, he's a little busy.
Have you done an Elsa cake?
No.
Do you know who Elsa is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would love for you to talk a little bit about the seasonality. We were talking about travel and tourism season, and that was one of the things that you mentioned to the audience here. Could you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Yes, I was referencing some of the marketing efforts that we did in 23, and again, we'll be doing in 2024. And one of the things we've been working hard to do is put that message out that this is a year-round destination, because many people associate our destination with being primarily a summer seasonal destination. And there are some businesses, but the vast minority of businesses here that are only really open during the summer months. But again, most of our businesses in the region, certainly the place that we're sitting in Kalahari today for our meeting, is a year-round operation. And so we're working very hard to ask, especially our tourism industry professionals from the region, to not say off-season. There is no off-season. We just move from fall to winter to spring to summer, and then we do it all over again. And there is always something to do here. So always on season here in the Shores and Islands.
And one of the things that I took from that was you were talking about, well, it's almost roller coaster season. It's currently birding season. And then, in the winter, it's water park season. There's always something. And even if our businesses, are temporarily closed, we're still working hard behind the scenes and planning for the, for the next year and all of that. So it's always tourism season in Shores and Islands, Ohio.
And if people go to shoresandislands.com, they will find out all the things that are open all times of the year.
Or straight to our socials, because that's where I come to play, and I get to still be out there in the community, catching the winter, the fall, and the spring events, and promoting those events on our social pages. So there's always something out there. I'm always looking for them, and you'll probably catch me out there as well. So like you said, there's plenty of things out there through the entire year.
All right. Well, special thanks to Larry Fletcher, President of Shores and Islands, Ohio, for joining us today. And thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so that you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, as Larry said, including past episodes of this podcast online at shoresandislands.com. And we will see you next time on The Shoreline.